I had the opportunity to screen This Tempting Madness over the weekend. Isn't that a great title? I love it. It's a psychological thriller about a woman who wakes from a coma and has to piece together her shattered memory of the events leading up to her accident. It's really great, so let's talk about it. Hey, I'm Mike. I studied film, I work in TV, and if you love movies as much as I do, hit that subscribe button and get notified when new content's posted. This Tempting Madness is about what happens when you can't trust your own memories, trying to square what you know to be fact versus what your friends and your family are telling you, what your own eyes are telling you. Trying desperately to make sense of a scenario that makes absolutely no sense to you. We have to figure out, based on what Mia is experiencing, who to believe and who not to. And because Mia is awakening from a coma, she's a bit of an unreliable narrator herself. Since I'm recording this before the official release of the film, I have to assume you have not seen it yet, and as such, I won't ruin it for you. This Tempting Madness stars Simone Ashley, whom you may know from her role in Bridgerton, as Mia, a woman from a privileged family who marries Jake. From what we get, Jake might be having some financial troubles. Mia is Indian and Jake is white. I don't think that matters to the story, but there are some cultural undertones running through This Tempting Madness, which in my opinion, added to the nuanced trust factor. What I mean is that when Mia wakes from her coma, her family insulates her from her husband, who the family suspects did this to her. They don't trust him. But Mia isn't so sure. We aren't so sure. In fact, the choice to feature a South Asian family came from Simone Ashley's casting. Writer-director Jennifer E. Montgomery said that when she met with Simone, she understood that Mia's character wasn't about falling like into despair, but about rising up after an incident like this. So as Miss Montgomery says, how could she not cast Simone Ashley? The rest fell into place. Simone Ashley is amazing in this. She's playing a woman who had her bell rung pretty good and is trying desperately to piece her life back together. The film is told in broken scenes, flashes of memories. Some are of good times. Others are more intimate, quiet moments about the life Mia lived prior to her accident that reveal maybe things weren't as rosy after all. We aren't sure what we should believe, who we should believe. And we are piecing together what happened to Mia along with her as her memories come trickling back. Should we trust Mia's memories or what her family is telling her? I enjoyed This Tempting Madness. I think you will too. As I said, it's from first-time writer-director Jennifer E. Montgomery, who co-wrote the film along with her husband Andrew Davis, who also lensed the film. I'm sorry, how pretentious is that? I'm sorry, Davis is a DP. They co-wrote the script, and Jennifer directed it, Andrew shot it. And this is where I have to give Davis his props. What a beautiful looking film. I was struck at first with the color of Mia's dress. The orange absolutely knocked me out of my chair. I read that the choice of orange was by design to resemble a phoenix rising from the ashes, but the overall composition of the shots and the color palette they're working in is stunning. It's an absolute pleasure to watch. And this is where I tell you to go see this film in particular in theaters. You'll thank me. At the top of the film, there's a card that announces that This Tempting Madness is based on a true story. I had to do some digging, but found that the events portrayed here happened to one of Jennifer E. Montgomery's close friends. I assume the details of that case were kept back for privacy reasons, so we'll leave it at that. This seems to be a very personal film for Montgomery, and those are the kinds of stories that haunt us until they find a way to be told. This Tempting Madness has a limited theatrical release beginning June 12th, and like I said, definitely try and see it on a big screen. Support indie film. This one's worth it. Anyway, those are my thoughts on This Tempting Madness. I'd love to read yours in the comments below. As always, film is about community. I'm Mike, and I love movies.